Hello everybody, and today I'm going to show you how I made my Tomb Sentinel, or Tomb Stalker. This is the finished product. As I finally painted it all. I've added a wound marker, but that's not painted yet, so it stands out a bit. I thought I'd just show you a quick show of what it is, and if you like this guy, you can make him for less than half the price of the forgeworld model. And it is completely plastic, so it won't melt in your car, or break if you sneeze on it. I call him Milo, so if you get that reference, good for you. I like you even more. As you can see, all the detail is really nice model. Okay then. If you want to know how to make this guy, let's keep on watching.
Hello everybody, and today I'm going to talk to you about how I plan to make a Tomb Stalker from one box of wraiths. I had the idea by looking at these ugly little things, and the damn things always fall over, so I just want to smash them up, so I'm going to try and make a stalker out of these. Now, hopefully, if all goes well, I'll have a Tomb Stalker that looks really cool. So, let's hope I can make out a box of wraiths, and I'm going to record this and show you my progress. And if it all works out, you can make your own. Okay, this is the first box of wraiths I've actually made. I bought all mine second hand, so you're going to need one of these oval bases here. This is a second hand base, you can see, but I'll put sanding over there so you can just see the glue marks. Make sure you get this size base. That's the same size as the stock base. Right, now if you look at the instructions, do the top 3 steps, but don't do the bottom 3 steps, okay? Don't do these 3. You want to keep the armor till last. Alright, so do the top 3 steps at all your wraiths, and then that way, you'll end up with this. And now position them on the base, in the arrangement that you want. So if you want to add some terrain, like a rock or something to climb over, put it on and then go from there. I'm going to have mine pretty much straight with a slight curve in it, because I want it to have the effect of like going around something and like leap on you. So I want mine slightly up off the base, the front half, but not completely. I like my models really strong, so I'll have like 2-3 sections up, like it's lunging at you. Okay, now I figure out what shape I want roughly. The first step is trim these down so they're flat. Okay, the first 3 sections you need to look at what you want and what design you want. And you'll get a rough idea then where to trim and what needs to be flat, what needs to be angled. As you see now, trim this flat with a scalpel. And obviously try not to cut yourself, okay? I want to because I'm awesome. But after a while of fighting these damn things, I brought my scalpel. So I recommend you get a Dremel. And if you haven't got a Dremel, you can do a scalpel, it just takes forever, as you can see. Okay, that's the rough shape I'm off the top layer. As you can see now, it fits lovely. Do a little bit more trimming because of one bit on the side that doesn't touch. So I'll take a little bit more off there. Okay, just got to really quick with the speed up. Like, there you go. Okay then, now that I'm cutting the crap out of this, let's put them back together. As you can see now, look, it looks really good. Like, you're just coming up and it's going to jump on you. That's what you want. You want to make sure the spine's in the center so it all looks like it came with a model, so it looks like it's a proper model. You don't worry about the back connecting completely because the armor, the carapace you can put on top, like a bug, will be on top of that, so it doesn't really matter. Just make sure the front looks nice. Okay, and yeah, I'm gluing it. I will fast forward the glue in and the joining techniques quite fast because we all know how to join pieces of plastic together. And if you don't, stop watching this video and go learn. There you go, as you can see now, they arrange nicely. And of course, if you want to be fancy with this, you can give it a slight angle and a curve, so like it's jumping up sideways. That's completely what you want. I'm keeping it simple for this build, because I just want it looking nice, I don't want it too fancy and delicate. Okay, so glue these together, as you can see. Get the other piece now, and then you want to say, where's this one going to go? I'll flatten this off, I want a slight angle up, because I want the 2 top bits right up in the air. Flatten it, then put a 45-degree bend on top. As you can see now, I'm flattening it. So come on, watch, don't cut yourself. This is much easier to get a Dremel, by the way, okay. Right, so as you can see it's flat now, I'm going to take a bit off the top here, for this piece to connect to. And there we go. Nice, see, now I put it on there, and I was like, a bit of the spine needs to come off that. I'll take a bit more from both sides. Alright, as you can see now, I'm getting through to the hollow section, so I'm going to stop trimming this, because I'm getting quite deep into it. I was like, yeah, I'll take some more off here now. So, as you can see, a little bit off there. Just okay, now you got a rough idea what shape you want. You can glue them and put them together. So one else like that is just coming up off this thing. It's like maybe a little bit more off there. Yeah. I want it up a little bit higher than that. I don't want it completely walking. I want it to look like it's lunging at you. So I'll just take a bit off here. Cutting the back bit only, not the front bit, so it connects to the back. There we go. See, as you can see, it's risen up now. So that's good, I'm happy with that. Yeah, see, as you can see. Make sure you keep testing the position of these things before you glue them. Once the glue dries, you won't be able to get it off, unless you use a Dremel or brute force. Okay, make sure you get all the spines on the inside nice and lined up. Okay. This is very important that you make sure the inside of it looks nice. The back it doesn't really matter because you'll be camouflaged and all that. Right, that's the angle I want. One over there. Yep, that looks nice. Okay then, next step. Okay. Now I've let this dry for a little bit. I can position the other pieces now, how I want them. I'll cut them down with a Dremel. Flatten them. Yep. So you cut the tail off this piece here. Because the tail pieces won't connect and won't be strong enough. So I want it to look like this. See, it looks very centipede already. So I'm going to just trim a little bit more off because it's still a bit too thin. I like my models really secure, so as you can see now it fits a lot better. There we go. Yeah, that's good. I'll repeat out all of them apart from the last one, okay? So just remember that if you're doing all this in one go to save time, make sure you leave one piece with the connector on. As you'll see at the end of the video why. There we go. Now this is the piece you have to get in the angle right. Make sure you keep testing it. Do a bit of trimming here. As you can see, it's my second scalpel. So yeah, I want it. It may look weird, like I want a quick bend on a bend here. Once it's all built and the legs are on, hopefully it'll look quite natural. So you have to plan in your head what it's going to look like. So let's get to it. Obviously, add as much glue as you wish. I always overkill it because I like my models as strong as possible. So if you ever buy a second model off of me, you'll never get apart. Okay. Yeah. So a bit more glue on the sides just for the extra security. This is optional. I'm going to do this. I enjoy this one part because this one part will be holding the whole weight of the front section. So I want to make sure it's really strong. It's gonna have all the legs and the, you know, the rending and stuff that the brakes use. Yeah, look at that. So you can line it up now so the inside of it looks like it's part of the same body. There we go. As you can see now, it's going to come along quite nicely. It's a pain in the butt to hold it here to dry, so make sure you have something to lean it up to. Add the other pieces on now to the shape you want. And one thing I will mention though, when I was building this, after I put the curve on it, the angle I wanted, it's much easier to make this in a straight line if you want a straight one. Here I am cutting off the other bits. I'll show you all the cuts on camera so you can just stop and fast forward and stuff if you get stuck. Make sure they fit nice and snug. Yep, as you can see now, they're looking really good. Yeah, I'm just going to cut all these off to save time. Make sure you leave one piece left, alright? Don't cut them all off. The one on the back seat actually looks like it's part of his rear end of the forgeworld model. So if you want to save time, cut them all off in one go, just leave one. There we go, nice straight line. This is much easier to finish it off if you leave like this. But I decided to be fancy and put a curve on it, because that's me. And I did regret it a bit later. So okay, let's get started. As you can see, just adding the glue, getting the angle right. That's roughly what I want. As you can see now it's dry, it looks like a little centipede. Looks cool. Doesn't look much yet, but when you add the legs will make it, and the body armor. This is just the core to hold it together and give it the details underneath. Looks really good. Okay then. Now it's time to do the legs and stuff, the armor. The original idea is to work from the back to the top because I wanted the shape, but then I realised the top one needs to go on properly to give it the proper effect. We'll trim this piece off and put it on there. And then add this bit. But what I found, you cut these two bits off and that old piece to make it fit better. So cut these off, making sure it's nice and flat. And you just shove it under there like this. just to give it a rough feel. Let's see, it looks quite nice. You can see now it's coming along lovely. Looks much nastier already. Nice and chunky and fat. And I decided then to go with these other pieces because they have more detail on them than the third piece of the Wraith. So use 2 of the biggest pieces and then the rest of the smaller pieces. Not the smallest piece. Glue the pieces that can touch in each carapace. Okay? And underneath. Because you want it to stick in as many places as you possibly can for the extra strength. You don't have to do this, but it just makes the model that much stronger. Okay? The last thing you want is pick up a model and fall apart. So I always overkill the glue in areas you can't see. As you can see now, it's glued them together to the top piece and to the base itself. And look at that. Now it looks nasty. Then I put this other piece in here. That comes with the Wraith. So I cut off this piece here because that just stops getting the angle right. You can use a Dremel if you want. Just watch your fingers if you don't. I'm going to slide that underneath like so. And get the angle right so you don't have any gaps. Like see there's a bit of a gap, let's push in a bit more. Like this. Yeah, that's good. So add some glue on the top where the top carapace is touching. That way you get the extra security. Then you put a bit on the inside. As you can see, I'm just overkilling it, randomizing it. Oh, this won't connect perfectly, okay, because they're not in the right places. But once they're all on, and they're dry, they're lovely and strong. So just chuck them in like that. There you go. Looks good. But as you can see here, they're not all all going into the sockets that come with them. But don't worry about that. And this is the difficult part now. The piece that goes on top, the piece on top is too fat, so you have to trim them with a Dremel to give them a curved shape. So this is a very important part to do. You can use a scalpel if you haven't got a Dremel. But make sure you don't skip this part. See, as you can see now, it looks like you just bought it like that. Just chuck it on, and look how much better it looks. Looks brilliant. So just add glue and just throw it on. But that's very important you do that step, because I originally was like, damn it, I can't get this to look good. So I just trimmed it down. I was like, yeah, that's good. So there you go. Some glue on top, some glue on the bottom now. And then we'll just get it on there after a little war. It's quite difficult to get in place, but once you manage to pull it off, it looks really good. You have to repeat this process for the next section down as well, because the piece is bigger than the first piece. So if you just trim it down with a Dremel or scalpel, I see that's a bit off now, so you just have to have a little war with it, get in the position you like, so it looks nice and natural. Just give me 5 minutes because it's a nightmare. There we go, looks good. We do the same now with the last piece of the tail section. And if all goes well, it will look good. Also, I add a little bead of glue to each connective piece to the carapace. And that way, I know it's 100% stuck. It's basically welded on and glued on. So it looks really strong, let's put it that way. I can pick mine up from any part of the model, it will fall apart. Okay, add the last piece now using the techniques I showed you just now. Make sure you trim the sides. Bring it down a bit. You may want to trim it on the top, it'll depend on how long your model is. Glue it and then chuck it on. Sorry this video is a bit long, but I wanted to show you every step because I don't want you to be like, oh damn, this looks awesome and what do I do next? So this way you can make the whole thing. It may take you a few hours to make, because I made all the mistakes and been through all the trial and error, so it should be quite fast for you if you want to make it. I see these legs, cut these knobs off. Very important you cut these knobs off. Cut them off, like this. Take all the flash off the legs. I'll do this off camera. Right, now position them in the way you want them before you stick them in. I want all the big blades on the front, like he's going to jump on you, grab you and stab the crap out of you, and then open his mouth to blow you to bits with his XL cannon. So just have a rough idea in your mind how you want the blades. Then put them on and angle them correctly. Okay, I'll just fast forward this bit. There, I want it like that. So they come onto you, like jump on you and just stick into your ribs and then bite you, you know. That's the kind of look I'm going for with this guy. Okay then. So as you can see now it's coming along quite nicely. Put the other one on, but I try not to make it symmetrical, because if you're lunging after someone you're not symmetrical in the air. So it's not a static pose. Put the Wraith head piece on come with it. Cut off all the Wraith heads then that look similar. And we're going to make his head out of 4 Wraith heads, as you can see. Put the first one on, and the other one underneath it like this. And if you want the XL cannon, you can put like a head destroyer piece on instead of this head piece. But my fluff wise, he opens his mouth and shoots you. It's just cool that way. So put that underneath, give you a nice big fat head. Then we can get the other two then and put on the side. to give it the fatness of the model got on forgeworld. And that way, it's got a really fat, ugly-looking insect head with plenty of eyes. So I'll just do all this. As you can see now, look how ugly that looks. If you wanted to, you could trim down the size to get it to fit better. But I like mine to have it's like it's going to open up and shoot you. So I can use it as an XL and Tomb Sentinel or the other one, Tomb Stalker. Now I'm going to add all these extra blades in while the head's drying. I got a rough idea in my head how I want it. So like yeah, I want it in the air, jumping at you. So all those are just going to come right into you and just rip you to bits. That's what I'm going for. As you can see now, it's actually looking quite nice. The whole body, just add the extra legs in. Like I said, I'll show you every step because I want you to be able to make this in your own idea, in your own version, if you want to make it. I don't want you like, how do you do this, how do you do that? So I'll show you absolutely everything, and then you're free to add, change your pose and do what you want. Now get the biggest legs, this is the important part. Get the 2 biggest legs in these slots here, that are touching the base. Make sure you put the glue in the holes and on the bottom of the legs and hold in place. Okay, these will give you the leverage to hold in the right position. So make sure it's in the right spot on the base. Take your time, there's no rush for this. See, I want it like that, and I want it slightly back. So I can get the other leg in there now. It's very important you plan ahead when it comes to positioning. As you can see now, look how big and ugly it's looking. It looks really good. Add the glue to the bottom of the leg like this. And then I'm going to glue it down, and then lever it in a way so it's off the base, like lunging at you. These are the key points here, because these are the ones going to take all the force while you're gluing the other legs on. So you've got to make sure you get them in the right position. See, I want it like this, roughly, like just jumping sideways at you. It's like coming around something. You try and get a wound marker on there. I don't like to take like 20 dice. So I want it like that. And build a little pillar to lean it on, as you can see. Yeah. And now, just add the other legs. I will fast forward for this quite fast. But now he's leaning on something nice and secure. You just keep adding the legs. Make sure you glue all the legs to the base. Because it's a big model and you want to make sure it doesn't come off. You obviously get 1 or 2 off if you want, but just remember every piece of plastic helps when it comes to strength and stability. As you can see, there's a lot of legs in this guy. Add the 2 smallest legs on the bar on his bum, pointing out like the gun of forgeworld got, and there you have it. He's looking awesome. Just keep adding legs. I put all the spare legs in between the big ones. Because the fluff I got is he'll grab you the small legs like that, and the big ones just rip you to bits. Like he's holding the small legs, like stabbing you with the massive ones, like killing you, you know. That's who's going on. As you can see now, he's pretty much done. Looks freaking awesome. Okay, all we gotta do now is the next step, which is adding some green stuff. Oh no, sorry. Oh yeah, this is an important part. 1 or 2 holes. You'll be left with 1 or 2 holes. Okay, you haven't got enough legs, so put these glowy things that Rafe got on the side. I know what they're called. So put them in the spare holes. That's look a bit of an eyesore. Okay, now we get the green stuff. And now all we do with this is just keep the layers thin and fill in the holes on the side. But the green stuff isn't there for strength, okay? It's got so much glue on it, it ain't going anywhere. It's just for cosmetics. So just fill in the holes on each side, and then you're pretty much sorted, as you can see. It's looking good on this side. Right, antenna. I wasn't using the whip cons originally, but you basically breathe it and they snap. If anybody who plays Wraiths know this, so I'm using these. These are the tails of the Wraiths. Comes in the right size. And that's when, and then just glue them on top of the head themselves and angle correctly. Whip cons would look better, but like I said, you breathe in the snap. We all know this, so just angle them in the way you want them. This is a pain in the butt. So just do this, and there we go. It looks freaking awesome. Look at that. It comes at you like, holy crap, sure. He's a bullet magnet, by the way. I've used him a few times already. What do you think? Looks awesome. Right, the more important part is now 2 warrior guns. And what I found the best way to do this is put them on here. This is why you don't put, or whatever you do, do not put the claws in the top 2 holes of the Wraith body. This is where these guns are going in. Cut off the hand here. You have to file it down with a scalpel. Okay, cut the back hand off completely. Okay, cut this little axe thing off as well. It was just too much for it. It was overpowering the model. So cut this axe off. Just don't cut yourself. Okay, then add all the bits to it. These bits here, the biggest pieces here, those glowy things. Right, cut them out, the longest ones. I'll put them in these holes here, glue them in. And this is where your angling comes in, okay? So if you got yours like really high, you might want to angle the guns underneath his face. But after a lot of playing around, I wanted the guns above his face because I wanted him to be quite intimidating. Okay, this is completely up to you where you want them. But this is why you leave the holes on the top too. You put these in, like so, in the angle you want them. See, and you put some glue inside this one here, this big hole. Tons of glue in. You can also drill a little hole out if you wanted to, but I just too lazy to do that. And then just put on the big glowy things, like so. If I can get on there, the glue will touch. You got there, and you got a ball joint, so you can position the gun in any way you want. Complete freedom where the guns are pointed and how they're looking. So you just bear with me because it does take me a while to get the first gun on because I need to balance it on one of the leftover parts. The next one I just glued it and it pretty much stuck on okay on its own, which was lucky for me. So key point, make sure you leave the top 2 holes of the Wraith body free for the guns. And there you go, sorted. Looks freaking awesome as you can see. Look at that. If I come at you now on the table like, shoot it, it's gonna get me. There you go. 1 Tomb Stalker / Tomb Sentinel for a price for a box of Wraiths. And if you're lucky, you can get it cheaper on eBay for a box of Wraiths. So you can get this for less than half price. He's primed and he's looking awesome. As you can see, he looks absolutely awesome. Anyway, I'm glad you all enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll catch you all again in the next video. Thank you for watching. Well.